Today we're checking out 6 webcams below $200 and one of them is the best budget pick from previous videos. There are some great and unique options here. Those 2 webcams are sponsored by OBSBOT, but they will be tested in the same way as all these other webcams. So let's start with the first one, which is the Razer Kaijo. It's 1080p 30 FPS, it has amazing image quality for the price, and the previous tests of this webcam were done in the exact same setup, so I'm gonna show you some footage of what it looked like. I also moved closer to the webcam to test the autofocus and the sharpness, because if you move an eye close to a webcam you can really see the sharpness it can reach, and overall this webcam just looks really good for the price. Currently you can buy it on Amazon for $48 or $49. However, if you're interested in this webcam, be careful because there's fake listings on Amazon, especially for these webcams. I'm not sure why, but often you find the same webcam for a higher price, so be careful. There will be links in my description to the exact pages I'm looking at right now. Then next we have the OBSBOT Meet 2. This is the newest webcam of OBSBOT. It's the upgraded version of the OBSBOT Meet 4K. I've tested that in a previous video on the channel and it was a good webcam, but afterwards they came out with this one, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite. We've tested it in a previous video, the last comparison, and this webcam was super impressive, but it also has auto tracking features, and obviously you're paying a bit more for the auto tracking, but not everyone needs it. So when testing this webcam a few months ago, I was thinking, what if we get the same image quality but without the auto tracking features, so they can put the price down? That would give crazy image quality for a webcam, but at the lower price, and that is exactly what this webcam represents. It also comes in 3 different colors. They gave us the space gray. It looks amazing and it's really a tiny webcam, but I'm honestly so excited to see the camera quality. It's also magnetic, so you can attach it to the stand horizontally, or you can detach it and then attach it vertically. So to test it today, I'm not gonna use the stand because it has a thread on the bottom, and so I'm gonna connect it to this tripod like any webcam we're gonna test today. It comes with software called OBSBOT Center. I'm updating it right now. I will update the firmware of the webcam as well. Okay, now I think the webcam should be connected. I'm monitoring it on my screen. The quality is what I expected. Look how crisp it is when it focuses on my eye. But it seems like this webcam is actually what I had hoped for. It is as crisp as the auto tracking webcam, but without the auto tracking features, which takes the price from $180 to $130. This is a 4K high quality webcam that looks like a DSLR camera. Maybe not the background blur, but definitely the crispiness. This really sets a high standard by offering this kind of quality for $130. Now the webcam also comes with software. I'm gonna put it on the side of my screen. Now you will see that it says auto framing here, and while it's not an auto tracking webcam, it is auto framing. For example, I'll choose close up, and when I move away, it's probably, yes, it is gonna zoom in. Let me show you this, especially if you wanted to record you vertically, then if you move you could quickly go out of the frame, but now it is gonna keep me in the frame. And this won't be useful to everyone, but some people will definitely have a use case for this. If we go to like a bit zoom in, look at this quality. This webcam is actually crazy. It is so crisp, especially when you go closer. Like, this really shows the crispness. Now there are lots of things you can change here. You can enable HDR mode if there's very bright light behind you, like a window for example. You can change the autofocus from your face to a global autofocus, adjust the exposure, remove flicker, white balance. You can change the image settings here. This is the Elgato Facecam MK2. Now this webcam had to be included in this video because in my previous comparison I used the Elgato Facecam, and at that time I completely forgot that Elgato updated the webcam to the MK2, and so it only seemed fair to me that I would include this webcam in the next comparison to give Elgato another chance at being a worthy competitor. Okay, now in the software, the first thing, automatic exposure, let's turn it off and let's increase the shutter speed. Now I do have to be honest, the colors look pretty good. I see some overexposure here, I think. Okay, let's go to high dynamic range. Ooh, that changes everything again. Okay, we are in HDR mode now. If I haven't mentioned it in this video, I'm not sure, but what HDR is, it's high dynamic range, which simply said means that there's a lot of brightness levels that can be displayed by the webcam. So spots that are very dark are still pretty visible, they're not a black spot, and then very bright parts parts, for example this part of my forehead because there's a big light there, or the background, the light's there. There's still detail in all of them, they're not blown out, and you can actually see it in this. Okay, now I tweaked a bit with the webcam, and you should pay attention to the focus. Since Elgato is pretty much only targeting streamers, they usually put a fixed focus on their webcams. It says on the box Elgato Prime Lens Fixed Focus, and what they mean by this is that, well, not only is there a fixed focus, you also can't change it in the software because the webcam has been set up beforehand. This part is not in focus, and then from a specific distance it will be focused, and then from a specific distance further away it will get blurred again. However, if you use this webcam as a streamer of someone sitting at a PC, you can just put it at about this distance, which will be the distance from your screen. Here's the thing about this webcam, it will probably not look the best amongst all of them. I'm pretty sure the other 4K webcams will definitely look better at about the same price. This is the 4K webcam we still have to test. I think it's about $190 or $200, so that's a big chunk, but I wonder how it will compare to this webcam, because $130 and then $200 for pretty much the same thing, 1080p 60 or 4K 30. And by the way, I texted the company and they did give me a promo code. It's called YELLOW6, I think. I will put it in the description. It's 5%, which makes this webcam about 122. So this one's gonna have to be really good in order to beat this webcam, because it looks so good and even cheaper than this Elgato webcam. So I don't think we should keep comparing it. Next is the Logitech StreamCam. This is a 1080p 60fps webcam. It's completely new. I bought it for this video because I see it a lot online. People buy it a lot, and I'm wondering how it compares to other webcams for 1080p 60fps because it's very smooth, but it should of course also look good. And at first I thought it felt pretty beefy, but now feeling it, it's very plasticky in the feeling. The front looks really good. It looks like a webcam with a big speaker around it. But overall, it feels like a pretty cheap product. So it should be recording me right now. Now, looking at it, it feels like it's kind of an Elgato Facecam, but then with autofocus, because I think it works, it's pretty slow. Like, maybe it's because I don't fill the screen enough or something like that. It might be searching for focus, but not even. Ah, okay, yeah, now it was searching. I think on my face it's pretty good. I'll give you a check. I'll just keep talking and I'll come slower so you can see if it focuses on my eye or not. And I'll go from a bit closer to quickly a bit further, and then maybe a bit closer. It's hard for me to monitor this while filming, but I feel like the focus is fine. Now it does look a bit more pale than the Elgato Facecam. However, of course, let's say I boost the saturation a bit. I'm doing it in my settings now. I'm looking at my screen. Like, you can do it too much, of course, but you can find the balance. It might be too much. It's hard for me to see. This is what it looks like by default, but something really important for all of these webcams and just in general. This is really important if you're making a choice. The color it outputs and how well it handles all the lights and stuff is definitely important, but you should keep in mind that color can always be adjusted in post, at least if it's a little bit. So what's more important when choosing a webcam is if you want 30 FPS or 60, how sharp the webcam looks. The 4K webcams look really sharp, how quick the autofocus is if you want it. And for example, this webcam, we tested this at the start. I will put all webcams back to back, but you should know that this webcam is 1080p 30 FPS. That one is 1080p 60, but it costs almost $150, while this one is $50. So if you think the colors of this one are pretty similar, the autofocus is pretty similar, and you don't really need 60 FPS, you can save so much by buying this webcam. Then next we have the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite. This is the webcam I've mentioned before. It's a 4K 30 FPS auto tracking webcam, and when I tested this webcam a few months ago, as I said before, I was so impressed with the image quality, and also because auto tracking webcams used to be very expensive, like $300 or more, and now you have all the auto tracking capabilities and good crisp 4K quality for $179, I think. Yes, I'm checking right now, $179. There might be a promo code that they're gonna give me. If there is one, I will add it in the description. I hope I can get one for you. I will try. But as you can see, I've tested this webcam in the exact same studio before. I also went very close with my eyes in order to check the autofocus and the crispiness, and I mean, let's be honest, it also looks very good. I also just love looking at this webcam when it's auto tracking. It looks so satisfying. satisfying when it's autonomously following a person or something. It makes it look like a super expensive product. But as you can see looking at the footage, it's also very good at the auto tracking. It's very quick. You can also adjust the swiftness of this. You can make the auto tracking more smooth, or you can make it very snappy. The software is the same as the Meet 2 that we just checked out. It has the same image settings, the same AI settings. I did the test with my fingers. There were pretty much no artifacts in between, which is very rare for these AI background blur effects. Gone are the days of crappy artificial green screen background removal. I think that this webcam reaches the image quality of other similarly priced webcams, but it's auto tracking. So that's what I thought the previous time, and I still have the same opinion. However, it changed a bit because the Meet 2 reaches the similar quality, but at an even lower price at $130. I think it really blows other options out of the park. I think the Razer Kaijo from the beginning is definitely the sweet spot for around $50, 1080p, good quality. But when you go to these 4K webcams, there's definitely a step up. The price also goes up, obviously, but it's a big difference in image quality as well. I'm really impressed with how good webcams have become in general. This is the Logitech MX Brio, and unlike the Logitech StreamCam, it's also completely new. This was an expensive video, and this webcam is 4K 60fps, 1080p, 30fps. It's very heavy, and the ring on the front acts like a high-tech lens cap. This is so satisfying. Look at this, and it feels even better when you're doing it. This webcam is a really premium product. The stand disconnects magnetically, which allows you to immediately connect it to a tripod. I have high hopes for this, but it should also deliver, because as you can see, the price is $200. That's a lot, and I feel like the only way it can get an edge over the other 4K webcams we've tested is if it's super ultra wide. It does seem very wide in terms of field of view. Look at that, you can see this wall behind me and then also right there. Okay, now this looks good. I wonder if it's an autofocus webcam, is it? Or is it also fixed? It is an autofocus one. And it seems to lag a bit on my PC. I wonder if my PC can't handle it, but this is also a very crisp webcam looking at it. This might be a serious contender for the OBSBOT 4K webcams we've tested. I think this definitely is a wider field of view, especially if I keep it a bit further, not even that far. Like on that camera you can see, it's just stretching my arm, and right now it's really close to my face and my whole face is still in the frame. But let's choose a natural distance. This is about where I tested the other webcams, the range I expect when it's on your monitor. Actually, if you want to see the field of view, a monitor is probably more like this. Okay, that's what it would look like if you would be streaming with the Logitech MX Brio. It's definitely a quality webcam, like it's pretty sharp. Well, no, it's very sharp, but it also should be. It's $200. Now I will put all of them back to back, but I feel like what it will come down to for most people is this right here. I think we can forget about these webcams because they just don't look as crisp. They are outclassed by the 4K webcams, definitely. Also because they're expensive. This one's even cheaper, this one is more expensive. And then this one will definitely be one of the options because, well, it's $50. I wanted to include it to show you that you don't need to overspend. And then of course this webcam as well. It's definitely an option if you need an auto tracking webcam. If you want a webcam to follow you around, or you move a lot and you want it to follow you, it's amazing. But if you don't need that capability, like, don't spend your money on that. Spend your money on this webcam because it's about the same image quality and it's $50 cheaper. I want to see the MX Brio on my PC as well because I can't really compare well right here, but I feel like it looked really good and very wide. But in general, this will be the lineup and I'm very happy with it as well. This one is an amazing bang for your buck. It's 1080p 30fps, it looks really good. And then this one, I mean, 4K, amazing sharpness, autofocus, colors, $130, even 5% off, so $122, $23. If you want to look professional but you don't want to spend $500 on a camera, this is an amazing buy, I really mean it. And then the Logitech MX Brio, definitely the widest field of view in this video. So far it looked amazing. You'll have to check the end result. I will put all of the webcams back to back. I will put them in the order that I checked them out in this video. Now, while we are going through these webcams, I would appreciate it if you put in the description what you liked about this video, what you didn't like. I'm even working on a separate channel where I will do nothing but all of these comparison videos and budget builds. So it's really important for me to know what you all are thinking about this and how I can improve them in the future, especially if I'm gonna make many more of them. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy making these videos. All the links will be in the description. I spend a lot to buy the gear easier to make these videos, so if you buy one of them, please do it through my link so I can at least keep buying new gear to review. I hope you enjoyed it. Put your favorite webcam in the comments, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.